just come for a little wander around as we've got a sunny day. I've got the Godox mic on because I don't know if you can hear it. You probably can hear it. There's, I think, a tree surgeon going on in the background. Well, I say it's a tree surgeon. There's not a lot of cutting, there's a lot of chopping up. But I want to see what the mic picks up, how much of the noise. Anyway, so just looking around, there's plenty that needs doing. Things are starting to grow. I did notice a ladybird this morning. That's exciting. There's a few flies around. Only bees yet, which is probably a good thing really, because there's nothing for them. I can't see any flowers around. Nothing yet. The early comfrey isn't there. Pretty sure we've had flowers on that in the past at this time of year, but it's still cold. It was cold last night. We had frost last night. They had frost the night before. However, let's have a look. The kale has been attacked again and again and again. There must be the pigeons doing that. It's not surprising. This, I've added some manure on. There's some surviving green manure in there, but not loads. Somebody wandering around. If you look in there, this is all Westerwald or Westerwald, something like that. It's a ryegrass anyway. This will get going. There's a little bit of mustard surviving in there too. Most of the mustard has died now. It's been frosted and killed off. There's some more of the ryegrass there. This I probably need to level out this year actually, because that banks up a bit. Or I'll do the same as I've got in here where the beans go. Beans and cucumbers last year. They should. Somebody said they would come back, and I know they're perennial, but I'm not convinced they'll survive in our soil, which is heavy clay. It stays soggy and wet, but we'll have a look. I'm not going to dig this over. We'll see what happens. The herb plants are looking a little bit poor. There's a couple of rosemaries there. There's a couple of lavenders there as well. They're French lavender, and I mean they weren't cheap to buy, but I don't think the quality was very good. Oh. These are pots of cocoa coir. I grew tomatoes in them rather unsuccessfully last year. Incidentally, I did notice that Aldi have got their bags of compost in stock now. Not surprisingly. The chives, I've cleared the grass out and I've replanted the chives, see how they get on, but they really need to come out of that pot. That sorrel's doing all right. Green manure's in there, doing all right. Those on the end there, that was wood chip. There's potatoes in there. I did sow them sort of late to see if they would grow, but they probably started and stopped again. Whether they survived the winter is another question. Some of these beans in here, green manures, are looking really poor. Some have survived, some haven't. You know, it's interesting. That one seems to be all right. These ones, not so much. I don't really know what the difference there is. That's a green manure. This along here I've trenched. I say trenched, I haven't. I stuck spade in and cut the roots of this damson tree, because when I was sorting out this bed, which is still covered up, I had like a container full of manure which I've finally sort of levelled out. But when I was levelling it out, I found the damson tree's roots were in there. It's bit of a pain, so I literally cut them along here with a spade. So I'm hoping that that will stop them spreading further that way, but that probably explains why this little apple tree is struggling, because I think it's too close to the damson as well. The apple tree over there went in the same time as the damson, is doing fine. That's good. It's James Grieve. We get a good crop off that. Damson's Farley. I forget what the plum is. Might be Jubilee. Haven't had anything off that yet. Hopefully this year I put all this wood chip round, hoping that it's going to improve the soil and the soil conditions. Blackcurrants. So there's the new one in there, and there's a new one in there. So they should establish this year. This is the old one. They're probably 17, 18 years old now. So I took 2 out. This is the last one. Should give me a crop this year. May retain it for next summer as well. We'll see. Can't be without blackcurrants. I propped up that perennial kale because that's been hit by the pigeons as well. I have taken a cutting off that. I'll check that in a few minutes. I need to take some more off and get them re-established somewhere else because this just goes over and gets in the way. I've got an idea, it'll probably go over in the corner over there. Start thinking about maybe cutting these herbs out. This is, I think this one's orange balm, that one's lemon balm, winter savoury. I think, no, those, no, I'm pretty sure those are winter savouries. A bit of grass needs to come out down there. It's not too bad. The rosemary's done well. We had this in a pot for years and years and it looked really poor. And we dug it out in the end, replanted it, and I stayed on top of pruning it, and it's loads better. Salad Bonnet, it's established, seems to be doing all right. I put in a couple of sorrel. There's one down there surviving, and there's another one up here. Whether it's survived or not, I don't know. A few chives in there, and there's the sage that I grew from seed. That survived. Hopefully that will do all right this year, get going. Once I've cut all this stuff back, it'll get better light anyway. This I reckon is probably another lemon balm, self-seeded. It spreads, a lemon balm does, so I should have to have some of this out. There's quite a bit in there. I don't mind, but I don't want it taking over. There's another winter savoury. This I'm going to have to tidy up. There's loads of speedwell and grass in it. I did hoe a load off and just left it on the surface to protect the soil, but it all has to come out. And the sweet corn, once I start working, I mean I left this all in over winter just to protect the soil. So that can come out and go on the compost heap. The mustard in here is mostly dead. There is still some surviving though, which is interesting. Maybe it's a bit more sheltered up here from the wind, don't know. Pots of field beans, they're doing really well. These ones have had a little bit of a hammering, but they're not doing too bad. I had these covered up to protect them from the rodents and squirrels, whatever's been eating the beans. So they've survived. I reckon they'll pick up and get going now. That's the used compost from last year. I grew melons and cucumbers in. Self-sown kale in I don't know what. Don't know what it is. Wood chip compost mix maybe. I've just let it keep on growing. It's been there. That's into its second year. So hopefully with the whoever picks up it will recover. It's 1,000 islands. There is under there, if you can see it, there's a little Brussels sprout, and the little ones down the bottom there as well that are even smaller. But there's actually a Brussels sprout in there. So much better than the Christmas ones, but first time. Next year it will be better. I've had the carrots out. I think I missed one down there. They were really small, but there was loads of them, so that's good. Something's been in here. You can see, like, this is what the foxes do. You can see all the way along. Foxes jumped over and it just comes on dig, 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 dig. I don't know whether I need to go all the way around this at another level and put more chicken wire and netting around. I might have to do that. Either way, the spring onions seem to be picking up now, which is good. I need to get them into better light probably. Again, you can see here, like all these little dits, dit. This is where the fox comes in and just scratches away. There's nothing in there. The surface doesn't look too bad, but it was I think there's a load of old composted wood chip. I'll rake that over and I shall get some green manure in that, start breaking the soil up. The field beans I planted under here are showing. They're doing all right. They will get going. I don't know if you can see down there, there's loads of worm casts. This is been mulched basically with wood chip and the field beans went through it. And they seem to be coming up. That will break up that soil, improve the soil. I'm going to try planting some brassicas in there this year, see how they get on. We'll come to that at some point later in the year. Going to try and get some more grass out. This around the back here, it's obviously it's settled now, but this is about a foot deep in wood chip and it's settled down. I've turned it over once. I'm going to keep on doing that. I've probably lost some into the bramble there. The brambles may go, but we shall see. The idea with the wood chip is I'm going to turn this over, break it down. I may move it into a bag, I may not, but the idea is, my hope is that I can compost that down and then reuse it in the future for mulching the soil. I'm going to need to make myself a sieve, I think. I keep looking for a suitable piece of meshing, but what's available is either really expensive or it looks to me like it's too flimsy and won't last. So I shall find something in the end. Plenty of rhubarb coming up here. I keep looking at the rhubarb and thinking, have we got too much? Probably yes. I mean, the more I look at it, I think, yeah, there's loads here. So we'll see. I might have to take some of it out. And up here, raspberries, no sign of life in them yet. I want to try and sow some clover into these raspberry beds so that you can give it like a nitrogen fix. The pile of wood chip up the back here is just still sat there. No sign of the comfrey yet. These bags of, these are all wood chip up here, sieved wood chip. Well, these were sieved, the ones at the back weren't. I just rake them out, but you can see how well this green manure is growing in them. So this green manure is grass. There's broad beans, field beans in there, and vetch, or tares, is it? Tares, taries, yeah. Either way, the idea was that the beans and the vetch types would provide the nitrogen for the grass. It seems to be working. And that's, like I say, sieved wood chip, so there's no fertiliser, there's no compost in that, it is just sieved wood chip. These ones is just aged wood chip, and all I did was, again, sow the green manures in there, but I just bagged it up. I didn't bother sieving it, so there's wood chip in there, not as much now because it's probably up 3 years old, but there's good material in there. You can see that's doing well, that's doing okay, it's doing okay, it's doing okay. That's got some growth in it, some problems down there. That's okay, that's okay, that's okay, that's okay. There's a bag up there, and if you can just about see that, which the beans all got frosted and died. So, but that was just beans. So that one down there, beans and grass, doing all right. Grass doing all right. So if you've got wood chip and you can leave it to sort of stand around an age, there are things you can do with this stuff. Look at it. Anyway, there'll be loads on the wood chip this year. And this is a pile of aged wood chip again. You start looking at the material in here. Sorry, I'm not showing you that really. You can't see it on this camera, but there's some real decent material in that. It just needs sieving. Some wood chip again, but that's what I'm trying to do with these paths, is just add wood chip and then sieve it. I mean, they've dug these out. So this is probably 6 inches deep. You can see I've piled up some soil there. And then there's wood chip gone in, I've turned it into the soil, and then in the future again I can sort of sieve that and use that. Anyway, that's where we are. Plenty more to come. It's only, what, the second week of February? Oh, and I've just treated myself. Probably turn around and have a look. I've just treated myself to a little toy that I'll be able to use around the plot for some different stuff for filming. Spent money I didn't want to spend, but well, I did want to spend it, but you know how it is. I borrowed the money anyway, because I've got to pay it back. Anyway, take care.